the first thing that I want to share with you all is your essay has been changed. The due date is now on Tuesday. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of extra time and so you don't have to stress so much about it. We will be working all of today on your essay, and we will be working all of Monday in class on your essay. So just for your planning purposes, you'll have 2 full class periods to work. In addition, you have this weekend. You should have finished the Outsiders last night for homework. And so your only homework this weekend is to focus on your essay, specifically your body paragraphs, because that's what we're going to be doing in class today. As well, you will need to find a new independent reading book, because we always have to have a book that you're reading. So keep that in the back of your mind. If you're in front of me today and you see a book that you might want to grab for your next independent read, feel free to do so. If you have a book of mine that you finished, please make sure that you return it. As far as announcements go, does anyone have any questions on your homework or assignments that are due in the upcoming days? Yes. So finishing the Outsiders does count as books read in your writer's notebook. So make sure that you put in your writer's notebook on that page where it has the books that you've read. So that it obviously counts towards your personal count for your books read. But I'm not going to tally it on the board because that was an expectation that everyone was finishing it. So then we would just have the number of, like everyone should be on the same level page there. You know what I mean? Everyone should have read it. So it's not going to count towards our tallies. But it does count for your personal tally. Does that make sense? Does anyone else have any questions about assignments that are due or the work you have for this weekend? No? Okay, so here we go. First question I have for you. So at this point, you do not need to have your laptops open. You can just focus on me. I appreciate that. So put them down so I know that you're not doing things that you shouldn't be doing. Thank you. Okay. In the Outsiders last night, you finished reading the book and it ends in such an interesting way. So in your daily check-in, you are asked about this question. So let's talk about it really quickly. The last line of the Outsiders is, when I stepped out into the bright sunlight from the darkness of the movie house, I had 2 things on my mind, Paul Newman and a ride home. Why is that significant to the book? Why is that a beautiful way to end the book? What can we infer from this ending? I see 1, 2, 3, 4 hands. I need at least 5 hands. Oh, there's 5 with Maytel. Awesome. 6 hands. Beautiful. Go ahead, Benny. Very good. If you go to the beginning of the book, those are the exact words that started the book. That's an excellent realization. So now what can we infer from that? If this is how the book began, what can we infer? Go ahead. Good. This was his story that he wrote. This was Pony Boy's story. So if you remember in my example when we did the motifs, my motif that I talked about was allusion to other texts, right, or literature. And so this kind of confirms that allusion or that motif. And that once again is talking about the importance of the story, right? The importance of a book by looping it and saying that this whole book was just Pony Boy's story. Excellent. Does anyone else have anything to say about the ending of The Outsiders? Yeah. It is. It's very sad. It's very sad. I agree with that statement. Any other thoughts about the ending of The Outsiders? If you have not finished reading The Outsiders, please make sure that you do so. Again, your essay is due on Tuesday, so it's going to be in your best interest to finish reading the book before you have to hand in that essay. So today we're going to be working on drafting our literacy essay, as I said, and we're going to write evidence to support our analysis. Today we're focusing on body paragraphs. Yesterday in class we focused on how to write an introduction. Today we're going to be focusing on how to write a body paragraph. I personally think that this is the easiest part of the essay because you have written these types of paragraphs before. Introductions and conclusions are formatted a little bit different, but your body paragraphs are formatted very similar to how you would write a journal entry or how you would write a short response answer. You have, and again, this is the formula that I always like to use. If it's not helpful to you, you don't have to use it, but I like to use it for those people who work well with the formula. The T stands for topic sentence. You have to start with a topic sentence. Your topic sentence should not start with your example. Okay, you should not start with one example of this. No, you have to give me a reason. You need 3 different reasons to support your theme. Why is your theme? How do we know that that is a theme in The Outsiders? One reason why you know. Second reason why you know. Third reason why you know. Okay, so you should have 3 reasons why your theme is a theme in The Outsiders. Within each reason, you should have 2 proofs. Within a proof, you're expected to have a piece of evidence from the text, and you are expected to introduce that piece of evidence with transitions, as well as explaining it. So I like to use this acronym ICE: introduce, cite, explain. Introduce your quote, cite your quote, explain your quote. And then you do it a second time. Okay, here is where you are grabbing those textual evidence, those quotes from the book, and you are citing it with your page numbers. Do not forget page numbers. It is considered plagiarism if you do not have page numbers in there. And then lastly, you have that interpretation or inference. This is telling us why your topic sentence is important to the rest of the text, or what you can infer because of the evidence that you provided. So here's my examples. I've been working with the short stories. Have you read The Fun They Had? My theme, as you learned yesterday, was technological progress can have major drawbacks. 3 reasons why this is true. It's true because technology can break down or fail us in important moments. It's true because technology forces us to lose relationships and connectivity to other people. And it's true because technology lacks the imagination and innovation of the human brain. Notice how these are reasons, not examples. Do you see the difference between an example and a reason? With my reasons, then I add my example. So let me show you my example for you. Here's my example body paragraph. I start with my reason. Technology can break down or fail us in important moments. This is a reason why technological progress can have major drawbacks is true. Then I go and I start explaining how that is true in the fun they had. This happens to Margie's robotic teacher. The county inspector explains, I think the geography sector was geared a little too quick. Those things happen sometimes. I floated it up to an average 10-year-old level. Actually, the overall pattern of her progress is quite satisfactory. Page number. Here's my quote. Here's my introduction to my quote. And now I have to explain my quote. In this example, the robotic teacher resource of technology was failing and needed a human to come and fix it. This shows how, despite seeming like a good idea, technology in this instance made schooling worse by being broken. That is all just one proof. Now I need a second proof, a second example, right? And then I have another example from the text, a different moment in the text. They had once taken Tommy's teacher away for nearly a month because the history sector had blanked out completely. In this instance, technology had broken down and caused Tommy to lose a whole month of learning. Now my interpretation. Both of these examples show us that while technology can sometimes make our lives easier, it can also hinder progress through its own future. Why these examples relate back to my theme. Does that make sense? Yeah. You need to have 2 quotes per paragraph. Absolutely. Any other questions about your body paragraphs? Am I muted? Oh no. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. Okay. Okay. Any questions? All right. If you have no questions, go and start doing this for your essay. If you would need a conference with me, let me know, okay? Especially my people online. Does anyone want to have a check-in with me or a conference with me on how to write your body paragraphs?
Could we have conferences so you could like check our essays?
Yes, absolutely. So if you want to just stay on my tail, I will help you. Anyone else need a conference today?
Wait, how many body paragraphs do we need?
How many body paragraphs do we need? 3 body paragraphs. Okay, if no one else needs a conference, you can begin working. I will be on here. If you need help, you can always come back. But everyone needs to come back at 10:25. Yes, 10:25. Everyone needs to come back, okay? Everyone else can begin working if you don't need a conference.